Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Minecraft Disney World. This week, we're headed back to World Showcase, and we're going to tackle another two of the country pavilions. This time, we'll be taking a look at China and France. Now, they're both the third country from both sides of World Showcase. We're going to start off with China. Now, the first thing you're going to notice about China when you get there is this cool circular temple, which is actually a replica of the Temple of Heaven, which is in this pavilion, serves as the entrance to what could be considered China's main attraction, which is a Circle Vision 360-degree movie called Reflections of China. Basically explores the country's history and scenery, and has a bit of a museum there that contains a lot of artifacts. So in a way, it's sort of like a miniature, museum experience. The pavilion offers a bunch of other little things. There are acrobats who will sometimes perform, and you could see Disney characters such as characters from Mulan. There's just a lot of great little details throughout this pavilion, little ponds and very reflective areas. It's quite amazing that for a theme park that's so crowded and popular most of the year, Disney has this great way of creating areas of all of these pavilions where you can actually find a quiet moment because they're either tucked away or not as easy to get to, so it cuts down on the crowd flow over there. Now, being a pavilion in World Showcase, it is also a big feature is the food. China has two places to eat. They have a place called Nine Dragons, which is like a full-service sit-down restaurant that has a traditional Chinese cuisine. What's cool is the whole front of Nine Dragons is windowed, so if you do your timing right and you get the reservations right, you could sit down and enjoy a meal right before or during illuminations. They also have a place called the Lotus Blossom Cafe, which is counter service. Typically, you'll see a lot of these places offer like one sit-down restaurant and one counter service restaurant. So whether you have time or you're, in a rush, you could get food either way. And the Lotus Blossom Cafe serves what we would consider more like American Chinese dishes, stuff that you might be used to getting with takeout, which is great if you're like just on the go and you just need something to eat while you're walking or eat really quickly. On the flip side, we have the France Pavilion. Now, this is cool because in a very similar way, it reflects the China Pavilion. It also has a panoramic film called Impressions de France. It is a film that has been playing since the opening day of Epcot in 1982, and it is also a visual tour of the nation and the history of the nation. It's got a score by Buddy Baker. It's essentially, these films are almost in a way like tourist commercials. Part of the reason that these countries have pavilions here are to teach visitors about their country and maybe convince them to visit the real place sometime. They also have another attraction that China also shares. It used to be called the Kim Possible World Showcase Adventure, but now it's been replaced with Agent P. So now it's Agent P's World Showcase Adventure, which sort of sends you on a little scavenger hunt sort of adventure that sends you to all these different countries in World Showcase, and China and France just happen to be two of them. Like the way you can see characters from Mulan in China, you can see characters from Beauty and the Beast, like Belle and Beast. You could also see like the characters from the Hunchback of Notre Dame have been known to show up there. Probably lesser so the Aristocats. I think that's probably not as popular as it used to be. And there are a bunch of tiny little things. There's a scale version of the Eiffel Tower in the background. Again, this is another pavilion where if you dig into it and you get into the back, you're gonna see like these little quiet areas where you can sort of have a nice quiet moment and take in all the detail of this pavilion. And there are a lot of cool little facts, like so you cross over this bridge because there's a waterway which has now become known as like the International Gateway, which is like the second entrance to Epcot. But before that was the International Gateway, it was just a river, and it was meant to represent the Seine River in France, and it had this very calming and peaceful look to it because there was nothing developed there. It was just trees and fields and things like that, gardens of that nature. And the bridge you actually walk over when you're going over what would be the Seine River is a Pont d'Arts. I hope I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, which was an actual bridge in Paris, which was the first metal bridge built in Paris. So Disney has a way of like really fitting in some like little tidbits of history without you even noticing it. In any case, those have just been 2 examples of pavilions at Epcot. We've already covered 4 others, and we still have more to go. I think it's something that, you know, you appreciate in a different way than an attraction, but it's still 100% worth going through. I mean, one of my favorite things to do when I go to Disney World is to go to Epcot and to do a walk around World Showcase. Even when I'm here in MC Magic, one of my favorite things to do is to go walk around in World Showcase. There's just something great about being able to go from, you know, country to country and see such a heavy shift in theme and tone and detail within such a short period that it really highlights, I think, Walt Disney Imagineering's ability to create, in a weird another world, or I guess in these cases, another country. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great week. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it. And I hope you join me next week when we take another attraction at Walt Disney World and we explore it here on Minecraft Disney. Bye, everyone.